Hello, today we're going to be talking about who is supposed to be in your team, or who should be in your team as a real estate investor. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that you could do to start forming that team. As a single professional, I had debt and no savings after my divorce. I always wonder how I can start investing in real estate to secure my future. I studied programs that gave me all the benefits of investing in real estate. Some claim I could start with no money, but I could not find one that gave me the practical, actionable steps I needed. As a wealth advisor, I've met people that own real estate but weren't ahead financially. They were rich, but they weren't wealthy. Then I finally realized that there was one vital component missing that makes someone become wealthy or not. And on this show, I will reveal what I found and give you the step-by-step actions to start investing in real estate and increase your wealth. My name is Araceli. Let's get started. As a real estate investor, you always need to have people that are going to help you succeed and that they have the resources to help you, because there's so many things to do when you do your deals, whether it is a rental or whether it is a fix and flip, that you're going to need those people. And today we're going to talk in very general. I'm going to do videos specifically for each one of those people so you know what to look for and how to get the best possible team member in your team that will help you. But today I'm just going to talk to you about the main players who you need to have in your team. And the number one is going to be a realtor. And realtor is always the best friend that you can have, specifically if you're going to be looking at investing in an area that you are not familiar with. And if you have seen other of my videos, you know that where you live is not always the best place to invest. So you have to look at that particular situation where you're going to invest, which is another video, so you have to go watch that. And then if you have decided to go into another area that is not where you live, and I think even if you are investing in an area that you live, you still need a good realtor because they're always in the know. They know a whole bunch of things that you may not be aware of because they are immersed in that industry. And that's what you want. You want somebody to give you insights. But the one tip that I can give you is ask that realtor if they are investors themselves. And the reason is because the eyes of an investor is not the same than the eyes of a realtor. A realtor that does only transactions to sell people a house that they are going to live in, they're not looking at the house the same way that you, an investor, is going to look at a house. So if you can find a good investor, a good realtor that is an investor as well, it will be in your best interest to do that. And I'm going to give you in another video just specifically for realtors, how do you screen them, what kind of questions you ask them, and so on. But so the number one person that would be in your team is a realtor. So who else do we need? Well, the next thing is lawyers. You're going to need a lawyer for many things in your transactions. And depending on where you are situated, a lawyer may need to complete the purchase transaction or the sell transaction. In certain areas in the US, you only need to have a title company, but not everywhere. So you need to find out exactly how transactions could be done. But this is not the only thing that you're going to do with your lawyer. You're also going to start getting some contracts, especially if you open up a company to do all your real estate transactions. You're going to need contracts to hire people, contractors, and so on. And also, if you're buying property on an individual basis without a realtor. You need to have some good contracts that have the clauses that belong to the area that you're doing that transaction in. So that's how lawyers will be your friends. And also, you want to know what you can do, what you can't do, and so on. They're a very good source of information. So that is the second team member that you need to have, a good lawyer. So number 3 would be contractors. That is probably one of the things that you're going to be in the lookout for all the time, because contractors are seasonal. Sometimes they're available, sometimes they're not. So you always need to have that constant looking for contractors. But if you do have a contractor that is good, try to keep him busy so they continue to give you good results, and they are always going to be available for you because you're going to give them constant work. Ultimately, if you get really, really busy, the best way to go is to just hire people that are working on your own properties. But that is kind of down the line. For now, you just have to know that one of the most important people in your team would be a contractor. So the next one is you're gonna need accountants. And accountants, you don't need them all throughout the transaction, but you need to be aware of how you're gonna set up your business, what can be deducted, what cannot be deducted, what forms do you need when you're performing the transaction, and what do you need to have at the end of the year so your accountant can do a good job and save you the most possible taxes. So it is advisable that you talk to a good accountant, specifically that they deal with real estate investors right at the beginning of your business. You need to know how are you going to set it up, and they're going to give you a list as well of what to keep track of. So it's easy at the end of the year that you can bring all of those items to your accountant, and you're not going to have any problems, and it's going to be easy to set up from the beginning. Because if you leave it to the end, then you're going to say, oh, I forgot to keep track of, and now you're going to have to recreate. Let's say, for example, one of the ones that most people forget is a mileage log. So you need to keep track, especially if your property is far away. How many times have you gone there? Did you have to stay at a hotel? All the meals that you had en route or while you were at the location. All of those things count at the end of the year. Believe me, they will add up. So that is a good person to have in your team. And just make sure that they understand that you are a real estate investor and the type of transactions that you're doing. So it is very important that you keep track of everything. But if you have that talk with a good accountant at the beginning, before you start in your real estate investing, you will have a much easier time. Then the next one is going to be a property manager. And if you do have rentals, a property manager would be somebody that you want to have in your team. And the same, I will make a video just for property managers so you know how to screen them, what you're looking for, what to expect from them, and what are their responsibilities versus your responsibility. Because at the end of the day, of course, if you're going to have a property that is far away, you probably want to have a property manager for the day-to-day things that happen. You don't want to be called in the middle of the night and then have to drive 6 or 7 hours to the location just to fix something. So you need to have somebody that takes care of those little things on a day-to-day basis. But at the end of the day, it's your property, so you're going to need to manage that property manager. And that is it. Actually, there is one more one that I'm going to give you a bonus, and is other investors. You need to continue be looking for investors. Why is this important? There's a couple of things. First, one of them is you're going to learn to see what they're doing, right? Sometimes some transactions that you may never even thought of doing. And the second is that you can have a possible collaboration. The more you talk to people, there's so many deals out there that a lot of people will not be able to do it all themselves. So you want to have collaboration because they're going to say, hey, listen, I have this property that is a really good deal, but I just cannot do it. Or maybe you're going to be partnering with them, or maybe they're just going to give you the property and say, listen, take the property and rehab it. Maybe they'll give it to you at a wholesale price. There is many ways to do it, but the more you are immersed in this business, you need to continue to look for people that are doing the same thing, because you never know when your next deal is going to come. And remember, if you're going right into the MLS, it's very hard to get deals there because you already have a realtor that needs to get paid. The property might have been already fixed up to a certain level that you're going to have to pay more money for it. So the best deals are always the deals that you find before they get into the market. And the one way to get them is through other investors. So that is it for today. And just to recap, so the members, the best members on your team that you're gonna have would be realtors, lawyers, accountants, contractors, property managers, and other investors. And watch out for the videos that are coming, because I'm going to explain each one individually so you have more details about how to deal with each one of these professionals. So until the next one. Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.